Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nerds with Dice. I'm your resident nerd on wheels. My name's Mary, and I'm so excited to be bringing you to the wonderful world of Vaesen, specifically the Morrigan Society. Without taking too much time to get into our content warnings and things, let's first do some introductions. This is the penultimate episode of season one tonight, so prepare for some drama. But first, we're going to start with our wonderful guest, uh, Austin. If you could kick off introductions for us and then popcorn it to the next person.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Austin, the Diabetic DM. You can normally find me over at SGA. But tonight I am playing Finn Whitty, he, him, uh, paranormal researching travel writer with a pet cat, and apparently just a guy in a stick now. Super excited to play that. It's going to be so great to play someone who has trauma. I have no idea what that's like. I'm going to popcorn it over to Ren.
Hi, I'm Ran. I use she, her pronouns. I am a theater director by day and game moderator by night. And now I am playing a witch. Her name is Celadonna, and she is having some feelings about a lot of different things. I'm going to popcorn it to Steve.
I'm Steve, Tall Halfling on the socials, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. But tonight, here in Vesson, I'm Mr. Williams, your butler, who will take very good care of you, unless you're, a blood-sucking creature of the night, which apparently he's the only one who has a problem with. So we'll toss it over to Danny.
Thank you so much, Steve. I am Danny Mendoza, he, him, Danny R. Mendoza, everywhere internet stuff is found. And I'm playing Father Varela Segundo SJ, he, they, who's not in any trouble at all, right, Mary? It's all very calm and nice and easy. Just nothing is happening.
Yeah,
Nobody's
it's
coming
fine.
after.
No.
Who comes after a priest? Come
What?
on. Not
The Boston
no
Spotlight team.
chance. Exactly. Yeah, for real. No, there's deserved. No, it's fine. It's not like the Spanish imperialists are sending some scary unknown Vessen they summoned to hunt me specifically down as of the end of the last session, right? Right, Mary? Nobody remembers that? That was a nightmare that I had?
It was just a
It's all a
figment of your
dream.
imagination. It's fine. We're just
Yeah.
in a happy, fun time game. There's no stress. Everything is rainbows and
And it
sparkles.
won't it'll remain rainbows and sparkles the day we find our way to that tree with that cairn under it,
Uh-huh.
right? And free our new friend Hawkins, who won't do anything terrible to anyone when we
Never.
free him. Impossible. Just glad we got that canonically on the record right now. I'm gonna pass it, I believe, over to Crimson.
Hi everyone, Crimson he, him. I'm playing Violet Eklund, she, her, the Vagabond, your favorite plan B. My knives are sheathed for the moment, and we're trying to be happier and nicer to people about things, but I still have them ready to go.
I think that's everybody if I did my math correctly.
I believe so.
But as we get into this game, Vesson is a horror game, specifically gothic horror. As such, we are going to be dealing with mature themes. These themes include imperialism, colonialism, colonialist propaganda, gaslighting. It deals with body horror, psychological horror, religious iconography, and religious practices, specifically real world religion. We also will be having occult themes as well as occult rituals. There would also be the undead, possibly, depending on what choices are made tonight, as well as other spooky things that lie in wait in the night. If these things are something that does not feel the best thing for you to watch tonight, that is completely okay. We have some wonderful VODs over on our YouTube channel of a bunch of new series. We've got Lancer going on, Fabula Ultima. We've got Fantastic Realms, a bunch of wonderful series going on right now that you can catch up on the YouTube channel if this is not going to work for you tonight. But with all that being said, let's dive into our recap of tonight, specifically of what has gone on prior. The players had gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle at the auction, the grand auction, a time where a bunch of secret societies come together and usually make plans, alliances, and other trades for the year. These different events happen about every quarter, but this is the really big one because all the artifacts are brought in. However, these artifacts were then stolen by uh, a magical warrior group known as the Fianna. Stemming from Ireland, that were working with other secret organizations to get their items back. The group had found themselves alone in the room with Hawkins, the caretaker of Rose House, and thus one of the highest people in control of the Apollonian Society, the British secret society that controls the four nations: Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and England. Hawkins proposed a deal because he is not too happy with the relationship he has with the Apollonian Society. Uh, for the most part, he's there against his will because of a ritual that was done about 200 to 300 years ago. You all were tasked with a simple moral quandary. Do you go to where he's buried, an Abertac, not only an Abertac, but the Abertac? Do you release this creature of immense power, knowledge, in order to defeat the Apollonian Society, depending on the bloodshed that might be there? Or do you go without his help? Uh, the question is yours. And as we dive in tonight, you have all made it back from the ferry ride where conversations were had about home and how people were feeling, as well as having a special little branch that Finn stole before leaving the Rose House. Uh, this hawthorn branch is from the exact tree that Hawkins, the Abertac, is being held under, and thus it allows communication. Will you use it? Will you not? That is what tonight will decide, as it is just the last little bits of time on the ferry, as well as a train ride, to have these conversations before deciding where you're going to jet off to. As well as there was a little after credit scene, but we don't have to talk about that yet. But what would you guys like to do? Um, the ferry ride has been very nice. The waters have not been too rough, and you guys have gotten towards mainland Ireland. You do know that the hawthorn tree that Hawkins is buried under is more towards Northern Ireland. So you need to basically take a train to get to the right area. Whether you go back to your HQ to get more supplies before traveling, or do you go straight there? It's entirely up to you.
I don't really know what extra supplies that I would need specifically. I feel like it kind of begins and ends with having enough things to stab with. So I am caught up. Ian's here with me, so everything's in my bindle.
I think the big question is that one of the newer buildings that you have renovated was the seance room, and whether you all wanted to use that in order to safely commune with whatever the Hawthorne branch
Oh yeah.
magic properties, or to do it here was, I think, the idea. So I guess, are you guys wanting to go back to headquarters to do that, or going straight to the tree?
We had also discussed possibly doing a little bit of research in our library, so we have some information that didn't come directly from himself.
Yes, and I believe we wanted to use the seance room. I think it was with the stick, if I remember correctly. So going back home, right, essentially would be very helpful on that front.
We wanted to research whether what it is that would be the best practice, anything that he might require to prevent whatever we want to prevent from happening, and just learn whatever we can around that. I think I remember,
100%.
rather than asking him what his plan might be.
So it sounds like the plan is to go back to Galway. Luckily for you all, the train between Dublin and Galway is rather easily accessible. Not that long of a journey, but you do have downtime if there's anything you'd like to do. If not, we can just skip straight to headquarters. It's up to you.
I would check in with didn't we say we want to ask Trinket to help us do something with all of her reaches and contacts?
I believe we did. I'm not sure what it didn't come from me, but I do remember what you're referring to.
Yeah, I was the one who thought of asking Trinket to do something. I think it was along the lines of trying to investigate, as we already were with Hawkins and something like that. So I think the secondary plan of using the seance room for it is already probably what we need, unless we were trying to get no, because I feel like we'd have a good sense of who Hawkins was over time just by virtue of being in the Apollonian Society for long enough.
Though we might want to get a local's eye view of how he ended up buried under the tree.
I like that.
Yeah.
And Mary, I'm so sorry. This is probably like the third time I've asked this question. How temporally we're like 300 years away from the people in my notebook?
Yes, so you guys are 1890s. The people in your notebook are between 1650 1690, depending on temporal. Like, from what you've spent more time with the notebook, you can tell that there are later entries throughout the journal that if you flip to a later entry, you may be able to get a different time period.
Okay. But I'm still talking to the same person?
Still talking to the same person.
And what's her name?
Let me look at my book.
Sorry, that was an act of violence. I should have done that.
No, you're totally fine. I was prepared.
It's okay. I will say, as somebody who plays a very polite and like socially engaged person in this game, I'm always worried I'm committing that act of violence, right? Because Father Varela is not going to sit there and not ask what somebody's name is. Like, it's rude, like you're a person. But I don't want to do it to Mary, so I feel you. I understand.
No, you're all good. Because I don't think you guys ever asked her name. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have it in my notes written down that I have her name, but
like I think you told us the first time because she was writing a letter to Kira, the ghost inside of
Kiva. That's
Kiva, our house ghost. Yes, Kiva.
Kiva's the spirit.
I have no idea how I remember that name. I usually do not remember any names, but Kiva stayed with us. It benefits me when I let if I let someone haunt me or possess me, I suppose I just remember their names at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, until I come up with that look back at, I'll rewatch that episode to double check to make sure. But I believe it was supposed to be Orla O'Brien. Was the one.
O'Brien.
Mhm.
We don't know any O'Briens in the
I don't think
current
you
day, do
told us
we?
about Orla.
Orla was like one of the earlier when we did the monologue of the Doberku, the both sides of the Apollonian Society. That was one of the people that from the Morrigan, the original Morrigan Society that had recorded Terence O'Connelly's findings.
Okay. So I'm going to go back as far as I know Orla. I don't want to like shoot backwards in time and be like, who's writing in my notebook? But back to as early as I know her and to ask the question and to ask about Hawkins. So as we're just like taking time on the train riding, I'm going to ask. I can't give away too much information because it might change. It might change where we are now. But is there any information that you can tell me about how they captured the Apertac, Hawkins?
Goodness. You see written we've but you in the writing as it's like being written out, you see in her response that we have been monitoring. We don't know exactly who you mean by Hawkins. Uh, if you're talking about things being captured, a variety of people, as well as our different Vaesen operatives, have been. So I need more specifics.
Okay. I want to say that there's an Apertac in the current day who is forced to work for the Apollonian Society due to a Geish curse. And his part of his soul is bound to a what's the name of the tree again?
Hawthorn tree.
A hawthorn tree in Northern Ireland. Is this something that you heard of?
It takes her a few moments, but eventually you get written back. I may know of who you're talking about. They've gone dark for the last month or so. I do know of an Avertac, or not really an Avertac, but the Avertac that was created in the north. Although they were imprisoned, they have not been active. We monitor that very heavily, and you see this like written out. You also see as it takes a couple dots, like just you can tell like she pauses in her writing before continuing. This is an incredibly dangerous individual. He is imprisoned for a reason. And it is incredibly concerning that the Apollonian Society would have a way to harness him.
How was he captured? Do you know?
The last time, then she writes, well, it took one of the descendants of a chieftain in order to get him to freeze. Avertax, she writes, Avertax are very different from other vampires. The stake through the heart can cause them to pause and to have some discomfort, but it doesn't have the same paralysis effect that it does on other vampires. The Avertac, especially because of how powerful and old he is, it took having a chieftain to have any effect possible to even have him pause.
Do you know of any weaknesses he might have that we could exploit?
That is a difficult one. There are not many. The Avertac was once human. And as such, there is a lot of ego there. There are not many magical ones. Even general dismemberment. The different parts taken would find each other eventually. Fire doesn't work. He heals. Even religious iconography doesn't matter. Now, you can never kill an Avertac, you can only trap them. The way that my ancestors did it, the chieftain stabbed the Avertac through the heart. They were able, in that pause moment, to get him in a coffin, chained, and buried upside down. Underneath that, as they dug it into the ground, they made sure it was very deep. And above it, so he could not break free from the feet up, they put a tree and a cairn, an enchanted cairn. Basically to put him in stasis.
Thought crosses Violet's mind of like, well, I mean, like he can reform, but like, how well could he reform if we cut his head off and put it in cement? Like, it'll be a long time of him trying to chisel his way out when he can't see anything. But okay, so the best we're gonna get is stabbing him through the heart and doing something within that very brief millisecond, that very brief window. His iconography doesn't work, sunlight doesn't work, fire doesn't. I mean, well, fire kind of works. He just heals. This is gonna be a hard one to build a contingency around. I hope I don't have to. No, Orla. You said Orla. I'm taking a lot of information in my head, so I'm just making sure. Orla, thanks. So, does he have anything that he cares about?
As I mentioned, he has an incredible ego. That ego in particular, he has a issue of pride and envy. If as you're saying that he has been imprisoned and forced to do something, the very nature in allying yourself with him could give you the upper hand that you need. She also mentions if a gesh worked once, it could work again.
So we said before, because in part the way that I started to learn how to use fear was because I was talking to Orla in the book, and fear is an occultist move. So Orla was an occultist that she taught me. Is there any way that Orla could teach me how to do a Geish curse?
Yeah, she
Hmm.
absolutely could. She basically the biggest thing is it's not so much a curse as it's an agreement among the minds. It
Mhm.
is a swearing above all else. It is like the greater kind of a blood oath. Um, terms must be met. There must be a cost if those terms are broken, and it must be equally agreed upon. So, like when, for example, what might spark to mind when you made that agreement, there wasn't a general. This is what I'll do if I don't do this. This is going to happen. And because we're swearing on it on a very old magic system, that magic system will enforce it. Like it is like out of once you have basically shook on it, it's out of your hands.
Did they get him to shake on that led to him being? I mean, I guess it was either be tortured forever or work for us. We should really ask him about the terms of his agreements. I feel like it's out of your hands once you shake on it, but maybe there's a Fey lawyer that can null and void something because it was done under duress. Um, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, if she teaches me how to do that, and that's what I like start working on trying to do for the rest of the ride over. And then very like in getting to the end of it and being like, hey, thanks so much for all your help. I know that, well, I guess if you don't hear from me again, then it didn't work out. Uh, so I want to say, make sure I say thank you now.
Good luck with whatever it is you're doing. And I hope we can be of service at some point.
And with that, I close the book.
This kind of reminds me, I feel like Celadonna, having had all of these conversations with some of the more stabby and bloodthirsty members of the group, would want to put in her own contingency plan of like, what can I do to like, it's so strange to say because like me, the player Ran, hates vampire with a passion. Like it is the worst of the worst of all creatures in my like human personal opinion. But Soladana is trying to put in contingency plan to like, how do I protect the vampire if people starts to get stabby, you know?
Mhm. Like that.
Is
Um,
what Yeah, what can I do?
so as far as like to keep people from being violent, right? There are certain oaths you
Yeah.
can invoke to make it very much playing off of a gesh. If there's a certain area that is considered sacred, it is you're not allowed to fight on it.
Like a Fey magic circle
Correct.
thing.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, there is some kind of Vaesen occultist spy war happening in the possibility of a Gesh war. Like, what is there something I can roll to like collect material or collect information in preparation for that to
100%.
somehow to like putting some kind of protection, like sanctuary spell on like just everyone involved.
Yeah, so the easiest way to do it that you would think of, and this is just free because like you're getting this info because of your upbringing. You need an
Yeah.
arbiter. Basically a neutral fae party that
Mhm.
can act as an overseer of any kind of gesh that is used, to make sure that each party is staying neutral and to be able to enforce neutrality.
Hmm.
Mhm. Would I be that person, or like do I need to go out and find someone?
You would need a third party for this.
Okay.
Particularly someone that isn't a friend of you all, someone that is more neutral.
Okay. Would I know?
Trinket would know
Yeah.
somebody.
Trinket is our friend though.
I said Trinket has
Trinket's-
friends.
Yeah.
Right.
But a friend
That's
of our
true.
friend is still potentially
Yeah, like-
transitive
Mhm.
friendship. I have
Yeah.
a absolutely terrible idea above table. I don't think Father Segundo has this idea, but Danny does. Everybody want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Celadonna's mom is not really anybody's friend.
I was thinking the same
Um,
thing.
Okay. I am absolutely loving the idea of Celadonna going to her mom and be like, I never ask you for anything.
I do think that's kind of funny given what we decided together about your mom, Celadonna.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Well, and
like-
what we experienced of your mother, what we experienced,
Yes.
Ren, with Mary, but none of the rest of you were there for, with Celadonna's mom, makes me a monster
Yeah.
for what I just said. But I
no,
but I wear
that's
that
great.
with a
That's
badge
absolutely
of courage,
great.
badge of honor. Yeah.
No, that's great.
Amazing. Yeah, Celadonna's mom honestly is pretty darn like as far as affiliations, right? No affiliations to the Morrigan Society, no affiliations to the Apollonian Society, also no affiliations to the Afrotech. So it's kind of a perfect setup, if you will. Horrifying, but perfect.
No affiliations to me, but if I knew, I would hate her.
Yes, that is usually the first instinct upon meeting this person.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's go. Could I actually, so we talked about using a stick in a seance room. Could I use a stick in a seance room? Not the same stick, but I do have my own branch from the rowan tree, and she's gonna try to use that to contact her mom.
100%. And for time's sake, we'll say like as you guys have prepped on the train, you've been able to make it back in time to get to Galway without it being too late in the day, because you more so just traveled at night. You have full access to your headquarters, all the rooms. You also have access to extra points should you want to buy rooms or buy a contacts or hire on people or buy a facility. But it's up to you. So we've got, it sounds like Celadonna wants to do a seance to her mother. We also want to do a seance to Hawkins. And we want to research. So who's doing what is my question. Or are we doing this as a big group?
I think there's something interesting
what-
about if we have the time. Go ahead, Crimson. What were you gonna say?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I want to be around at least for the seance for Hawkins, Other than that, like Violet would probably wander off and start looking around in the library afterwards. She's very contingency plan focused right now.
What were you gonna
I'm
say,
not
Ren?
telling. I wasn't gonna tell the rest of you what I'm doing. So Celadona
Sure.
is gonna. I actually, Father Segundo, you were not trying to kill the vampire as much as the others, right? Like, were we
I
kind of on
actually
the same
very
page
much
about
did not
things?
want.
Or-
Yeah, I did. I
Mhm.
didn't want to kill. Father Segundo does not want to kill Hawkins. Father Segundo
Mhm.
wants to free somebody who's been unjustly imprisoned and then try to find a way to make them into an
Mhm.
ally.
Okay, so because I don't want to like just have a solo scene by myself with, especially with that person. So considering we have both experienced that character together, I might share that plan with you to see if you will be interested in having that seance with me.
100%. I will tell you above table. Absolutely, I'd love to be there. I will tell you in character, in spite of the fact that I suggested it. Father Segundo is going to be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure this is something that you want to put yourself through?" But yes, I would love to be in that scene. And I was actually going to say, aside from the privacy of that, um, I think it'd be cool if we could do the other stuff together as a group, because there might be more that we
Mhm.
get out of the research and the bigger seance, with everybody's talents like complementing each other. If y'all are
Mhm.
down for that.
Yeah.
100%
Also,
we can
what
do
else
that.
can we buy? You said there's another like room we can buy. What can we buy?
There's
Like,
so many rooms you can buy. But basically, you have solved two mysteries that I don't think we've done the XP for. So real quick, I think, because this is a good way, if you're watching this, you've never played Vaesen before, you want to play a full campaign. One of the things that you can do is do headquarters upgrades. Every mystery, just like how we get experience points for every session, every mystery, your house gets experience points. Uh, Such as, let me get to the questions real quick. I know I have it posted somewhere. Let me look at the threads.
Mm.
All right, I'm just going to look in the book as we're doing this, but basically you get experience points depending on the mystery. Basically, did you bring something back that was important? Did you, there's certain things that you can do, and we can fill those out, I guess, like either during break or if
Page
I can
88, by
go
the
through the
way.
questions real quick.
Page 88.
Page 88.
Thank you for that. Okay, so questions are, did you play at least one scene at the headquarters? And I'm going to specifically say, because I think the only mystery that we did it for was like one. So for the Dober coup, when we did that investigation, we had one scene at the headquarters that gives you one HQ. I guess they're called development points for your headquarters. Did you encounter a new type of Vaesen? You absolutely did with the Dober coup. Uh, did you visit a place of magic? This I would say no. There was no magical thing in the adventure. For the fourth question, were you subjected to magic? Uh, in the Dober coup adventure, do you guys remember being subjected to magic?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you define that, but at least the drool, right, from the
Yes,
Dover
that is a
coup
good
had
point.
magical properties. Yeah.
Uh, Absolutely. So that can be checked as a yes. So now you've got 3 headquarters points for that. Did you bring occult books or other important items back to headquarters? You absolutely did because you brought the drool back. So that is 4 total points. Did you make important contacts? I would say yes because now you have a Doberku friend. What do you guys think?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That was also when
Yeah.
we met like basically the entire town. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
So
We
that's
did.
first.
And
So
it
we're-
is when I came back, right? So like
Yes.
I returned to the party in the middle of that fight.
For question 7, was this mystery particularly difficult and epic? This is more subjective of what you guys think for the Doberku mystery.
Nice. I feel like
Oh.
Mr. Williams exploding something and then lying about it is epic on its own,
Yeah,
on
that's
top of
pretty
the
great.
Doberku being epic. Yeah.
he
I think
didn't
the
lie
fact,
about it. He just didn't correct it when Delilah took the blame.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
also the fact that I fought a Doberku with nothing but a bunch of knives and successfully got Delilah out of the den.
And didn't get the reflective damage, because again, that was supposed to come back and hurt you in a way that it didn't do, right?
Mhm.
That's
And
pretty
saved
good.
the life.
That was pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I heard it specifically by throwing a poison dagger into its eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that's a yes. So that's 6 points
Mhm.
of XP, and we can always buy these like during break.
Sure.
For question 8, you solved the mystery, so you get that one. So there's for sure 7 points for the Doberku mystery. For the auction, same questions again. Did you play at least one session at the headquarters? You did with Nisha. Did you encounter a new type of Vaesen? Yes. With the Fianna.
Mhm.
Did you visit a place of magic? I would say yes because you went to Rose House.
Yeah.
If you guys agree.
Mhm.
Fourth question, were you subjected to magic? I would also say yes, because of Rose House, as well as the
Yeah.
auction.
Super migraine magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you bring occult books or other important items back? That is an absolute yes because of what Mr. Williams brought back. You have the cup that tells the truth or not.
And Finn's branch.
And Finn's
Yeah, the
branch.
branch.
Yeah.
Oh.
That
I
that
mean,
Finn's branch would actually fall into the mystery you guys are currently in right now. with the
technically, I
after
also
tax.
stole the
okay,
book,
okay.
even though I did hand it over
You
to
did,
Hawkins.
yeah. But you've got plenty to answer that question. Yes.
Mhm.
Did you make important contacts? I would also say that would be a yes because you met the other people, and specifically Father Segundo made friends with the Pravda to kind of pit the Spanish and the English against each other. And then was the mystery particularly difficult and epic for the auction?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I ran across
rolled-
England overnight to hold an entire city block hostage with a Kusi.
Fair. I would
and I
definitely say
rode a
that's
ghost
epic.
horse. Was it a horse?
I almost
Oh.
died.
No.
Yeah.
You did almost die.
Yeah.
Finn almost
Yeah.
died. That's a
Yeah.
yes.
So Adana held off several armies entirely by herself.
That was so badass. And then question 8, did you solve the mystery? You did solve. You figured out who stole from the auction and got the notes about Hawkins. So that is, you have a total of 15 headquarter points to spend on contacts, facilities, or hirelings. So we can
excited
figure
about
all
this.
of that stuff out in the break. But as you guys are here for the seance, you guys have settled in. Trinket has brought in some different tea and cakes and things like that as offerings. Question for Celadonna: are you trying to do this first thing to talk to your mom, or are you wanting to try the other one first? Like, what's your plan with that? Like, how are you going to sneakily do it since you really don't want other people knowing about it?
I wanna just like stay behind after the seance that the group wants to do, to be like, I just want to commune with the spirits a bit further and stay behind. And I was gonna say if Finn happens to like eavesdrop on us and wants to participate in that scene, I feel like that could be exciting as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will wait until after.
Okay, so as the group comes together for the seance, let me get the seance room up so we get that information. Okay, that's in the basic rooms. Okay, seance room. Player characters can hold a seance before a mystery and gain access to additional clues. And I can decide which ones. So this is in the middle of a mystery, but that's okay because rule of cool makes it awesome. You all sit in this room. It very important. You would know, and there's even like old like in like a very ancient script written on the walls of like the rules of the seance room. You don't want to break the circle once you've opened the room up to the spirits. You need to be clear and concise with your questions and be careful if you're opening yourself up too much. There will be a point where, with some spirits, that and uh, they will try and break out of the seance room. So it's very particularly important if you feel like that is going to happen to stop it. You are able to set the hawthorn branch in the center of this table. There are a variety of different, like very, very, very old crystals that are set up, like still set up from like the last time this was used, as well as like an offering bowl and variety of different bundles of herbs that kind of hang along one of the windows in case you need them for protection. Celadonna, are you the one who's going to be like running the seance?
I think I will offer myself as a conduit. But I think that would be her offer.
That actually works pretty well because normally, at least with how the hawthorn branch works, it's usually whoever's holding the branch is the only one that can hear. But using the seance room plus your abilities as a medium to have Hawkins actually talk through you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and since everyone is helping, Celadonna, you can get, and normally you only get a help bonus of +3. For this, you can get +4 to your observation empathy roll to see how many free
Nice.
questions you guys are going to get.
Yeah.
Three sixes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So because you basically, I will say you get 3 additional questions. You would normally get at least 2. You have 5 questions to ask the Apertech.
One per person.
Woof.
That works out well, actually.
It does. Do we want to strategize above table before we start asking questions as to who wants to ask what, or do we want to just go for it?
I feel like I don't have a question planned. I'm going to go closer towards the end to see if anything I observed makes me want to like hone in on something.
I think we should ask for his word that he's not going to harm us or the people we care about if we let him free.
We already talked about this. That doesn't feel like good faith. Ask.
I'm also not sure that would be binding. I'm confident there are ways we could bind that. I mean, in this moment, I don't know if asking that question will give us a binding condition or simply an answer that either we already know or is a lie?
If we're assuming that what he's saying is a lie, then why are we asking anything at all? Because the other
That's
questions I
exactly
would
what
ask
Mr.
would...
Williams was trying to say last time. Speaking of which, if we're doing this, somebody can have a second question because he has no interest whatsoever in a word that thing has to say.
Valid.
So I
Valid.
do believe Father Segundo, though, if that is articulated essentially in some fashion at the level of the fiction, would turn to you and say quietly, off to the side from the others, Mr. Williams, a word, if you don't mind. I do not want you to have to carry the burden of something you do not wish to do. So, understood, it can be taken care of. If you don't want to be the one to do it, for any reason that you do not owe me or anyone explanation for, I still believe you should ask a question through one of us. And the reason why is because you very, very deeply do not want to ask any question of this person. I believe that your deep skepticism of this person's intentions, of the validity of this entire situation, or at the very least of its efficacy, is exactly why I'm not sure we can afford to have you not ask a question. But you do not have to be the one to ask it. You can tell it to me, you can tell it to anyone else, any of us can deliver it. I want to know what you want to know. What do you want to know?
I think he's going to stew on that for a little while, because there are things he wants to know, but this is not who he wants to ask. So, I mean, I think the best, offhand, I think the best he can offer you as a question to ask is, why did the people here feel compelled to bury you in the first place?
That sounds like an important question to have the answer to. And Finn, just bring my voice up a little louder to invite you into the conversation from where you are in the room. To what you asked before about why would we ask anything to this person if we expect a lie, I will say that I'm sure this is true of all of us. At the very least, in my other job, my other profession, and what we do here together, I can tell you I learn a lot when people lie to me, and people lie to me quite often. They're often lying to themselves at the same time, but not always. And there is much to be understood, even when it is not said in the most direct way. So, for my part, that is where my interest is. I do not, to be clear, expect candor unmitigated. I expect manipulation and potential harmful intent, but I don't take it for granted that that is all we will get. And I want to see as clearly what we might get as I can for what it is on its own terms and not for what I expect it to be. So we can all keep each other safe with that knowledge arming us.
I can live with that.
Violet, how are you feeling?
Well, and kind of saying the same thing you already said before, Father. He lies to us, we lie to him. Hopefully we find something in the middle that sounds kind of like the truth.
I will not ask any of you to lie to him, and I will not be lying to him. I will not judge what you decide to do. But to be clear, I won't be lying. I won't volunteer every detail, but I don't intend to lie. I also will caution all of you when it comes to considering lying. Lying to someone as powerful as this can have far-reaching consequences beyond even the destruction of a lie to any of us might bring about.
I hate to suggest it, but should we ask about the Apollonian Society?
Absolutely. What would you like for us to ask?
Something to protect us? We're
I
doing this for
believe
kindness. It is exceedingly dangerous what we're trying to do against an exceedingly dangerous group.
I suppose the question is, are these questions we need to ask in now?
That's a very smart question.
And before we do this, I just want to ask the rest of you a question.
Mhm.
When you first met me, when you first found out, or Father, you in particular,
Mm.
do you think I was going to harm you?
No. For my part, no.
Why?
But I don't particularly think anyone is going to harm me. And everyone is capable of harm, myself included. Whatever I may strive to do, I have harmed people. I will harm people again. There are infinite variations on harm, and none of them are better than others, more righteous or virtuous or acceptable or allowable or excusable, none of them. I have seen people blame Vaesen for harm that they have done. I've seen people deny the personhood of Vaesen. Hawkins, monstrous though many acts we have been privy to him engaging may be, has been compelled into servitude and caused to engage in harmful acts that he may or may not have chosen to do otherwise. And we can't know, and neither can Hawkins, because the choice was not provided. And there is a trauma and a damage to being forced to commit violence, as there is a trauma and a damage to the violence committed. So, no, I didn't think that you would hurt me any more than I thought any of the rest of you would hurt me
Well, I thought you could hurt me, any one of you, each one of you. When I first met you, when I thought you might find out what I am, I thought you were going to hurt me, every one of you. That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
I never thought he'd
I
hurt me
think
for a second.
Violet's gonna shrug and go, "You came well vetted."
I think
So-
I know my question now, Celadonna. And it's thanks to you. And if the rest of you will forgive me of this, I would like for my question to be, what will it take for you, Hawkins, to trust that we will not hurt you?
I like that.
Thank you.
Stella, do you want to know why I never thought you'd hurt me?
Why?
I take out Montgomery and I hand him to you, and he instantly starts purring.
Oh.
That's why.
Well, you haven't met my mom. You would have changed your mind if you had.
I don't know. I met your mom and it made me trust you more.
Trust me, you'd probably feel the same way if you met my mom.
That's fair.
My mom was kind.
My mom was also kind, but the world is not.
I have one last question I'd like to ask before we get started.
Hmm.
Is there anything that Hawkins could say that would stop us from rescuing him?
That is such an important question, and I don't know how to answer it. Yes, there has to be, right?
I have a
But
question.
what?
Not for me.
I have a question that I'll ask that will be the largest deciding factor on whether or not I'm fully engaged in this. I might have to ask it depending on how everything goes. But hopefully you all get the information you need in a way to where I can ask something more poignant and more helpful. But we'll see.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh, you mean like the question you might ask?
Yeah,
Not
the
right
question I might
now.
ask. Yeah, not right now. Like question I might ask.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
okay.
I'm still.
yeah.
I was like, I'm still hoping to be convinced. I'm willing to believe in the rest of you more than I am willing to believe in Hawkins.
I don't think you need to believe in Hawkins or even in the rest of us. I think you need to believe what you hear and what you feel. And then if you decide to extend us your faith, I will be grateful. But I don't think any of us should walk into this feeling that we need to extend faith to Hawkins, not given what we've experienced with Hawkins. I don't. I think if that is the litmus test we set for ourselves, we've already failed. It goes back to why are we having this conversation?
The
Because
decision
even
is
I
that
don't know.
the decision is to free someone from servitude and entrapment. The decision is not to judge whether or not that they are a good person or not. That's the decision. So I'm going to save him. We're here to find out information, not as a decision to whether or not to save him or not. The decision is what we do afterwards.
Yes.
That's the same thing that I'm also working on. Like we're in agreement, one way or the other, that we can't leave him where he is, even on a basic level. Leaving a weapon this powerful with uploading society is a bad idea. On a more just direct level, it is an awful fate to leave somebody to suffer that way. However, as you said, Father Segundo, we know plenty of kind people, but the world itself is not kind.
Yeah. And there is no way for us to protect against whatever Hawkins might do after this. We could try to protect ourselves, protect the people that we care about. Maybe we could even succeed at that. But we are not transferring servitude. We are granting a release from servitude. We are acknowledging Hawkins's personhood and agency, and then Hawkins will be responsible for what Hawkins does next. We could never be responsible for it without taking control of Hawkins, and we are not here to take control of anyone.
It's not in our right. I mean, I'm still not sure why even we are asking him anything right now. But
Do you think he'll need anything when we
well,
take him out of the ground?
that was going to be my question.
I
What
do.
can we bring you?
Yeah.
Like he's been in the ground for about what 200-300 years. Do you think he's naked?
If he didn't start off naked, it's not impossible that he is more or less now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be his priority. I think going back to the question of what is it going to take for you to know that we're not going to harm you, and then Celadon, if your question, as I understand it, is What can we bring you? We're already going in a good direction. Father Williams, Mr. Williams, you're sorry.
I
I feel the
appreciate the field
commonality.
commission, sir.
I appreciate it. Mr. That's your commission to decide for yourself. It's not up to me. What I will say is, I think your question is still very good. It is good that we know what we're walking into and that we know how this person answers these questions. I think it's actually very important, Finn, with what you asked before of, is there anything that Hawkins can say that would stop us? I think it's important to make it clear from the beginning that this is not a test, right? That we're not asking these questions to determine whether or not Hawkins deserves to be freed. If we set the table at the beginning and say, Hawkins, we are going to free you whether you answer these questions or not. And whatever you say will not change that. And then we live by that. There is a power to it, a power Hawkins cannot take from us, a power no one can take from us. And it will demonstrate good faith in a way that I think will give us the best shot we have at Hawkins actually answering our questions, especially yours, Mr. Williams, honestly. How could we possibly know the horrible things that could have presaged this moment in Hawkins's life of extended servitude if Hawkins thinks we might not free him once we know?
If that is a genuine question, Father.
It is.
Gestures around to the seance parlor. There are other people we could ask instead. The people who were here, the people who saw, the people who were here when he went into the ground. We have not heard their story.
Let's do both.
Mechanically, we can use this room once.
Copy. He doesn't know that.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying.
So,
I feel
base
you.
mechanics wise, you get one for free. Everything else becomes more and more dangerous the more spirits you beckon per mystery.
I'll take more danger. This guy right here, above and at the level of the table, will take more danger. If we legitimately, seriously, it's a real offer. If we want to talk to both, I think talking to both is a great idea, and Father Segundo thinks talking to both is a great idea.
Absolutely.
Is talking to more people like what might that change? Like, what are we hoping to inform us to do, you know?
Mm-hmm. So for my part, I think it's good for like everybody understanding what they're walking into with their various perspectives on this, essentially. Mechanically, or like at the level of what do we need to do this effectively, I don't think any of this is actually going to give us that. Meaning, and I don't think Father Segundo thinks that either, right? Meaning the asking of questions of Hawkins is not going to help us free Hawkins. We already know the stuff that we need to know, and anything else we might need to know isn't going to come from this conversation. But I do think that getting everybody to understand how they want to approach everything is maybe the reason to talk to both.
Above table, benefits of talking to both. It is I can't remember the movie. It's about like the Japanese samurai, and you get two storylines, and then you get the true storyline. It's always better to get more info, right? Keep in mind these will be very biased info. You have the bias of Hawkins. You have the bias that of people that put him in the ground. And there's probably some semblance of the truth in the middle. The other benefit above table of talking to other spirits that would have been there is to potentially find more information about the creature itself.
We've also been told that that there are rules one can use to negotiate's the wrong word, but and he's certainly not going to tell us what they are.
Right. That's very true.
Rashomon, yes, thank you. Such a great film. So are we starting the first seance?
Go for
Who
it.
are we talking to?
You all light the candles. There is some juniper and hawthorn burning in a small fireproof bowl, causing like a seining effect, the Celtic smoke cleansing. Um,
Mm.
you see that Celadonna, it is strange because Hawkins is not a spirit. It's not as
Mhm.
though it doesn't feel quite right. You feel as though you're pulled in two different directions, where normally you can kind of take that spirit gently by the hand and bring them forward. It's almost as though something's trying to pull you with it. But you have contact. Everyone can hear Hawkins, including you, Celadonna. And for a visual effect, it is almost as though Hawkins is standing behind Celadonna with a hand on her shoulder. But you
Mhm.
have 5 questions total.
Go ahead, Father.
Hawkins, we will not be conducting a test today. This is not an assessment of anything. These are 5 people who are about to risk a lot to undo an injustice that you have had to endure for far too long. This is not a transaction. This is not a request. We are not offering a gift. We are not accepting a gift. We are having a conversation, and there are no answers you can give us that will change what we have planned. And what we have planned is to save you from this unjust environment. Why were you put in this position in the first place?
Well, that is a bit of a loaded question now, is it?
We're not in a
I
rush.
Oh, no, certainly not being buried upside down in the ground. Why would you be in a rush? Anyways, yes, I was buried in the ground because of a disagreement. I had made my way out. I was hungry, and it was before I knew that animal blood could satiate, albeit not as well. People went missing. I was blamed for it. Now, granted, the one person I could technically be blamed for, but they were already almost gone, and no amount of healing could have saved them. The other person, not me. However, I was
Mm.
blamed. You can cue the torches and the mob, and thus I was hunted down. It took them a few times to figure out what I could do. Eventually, I was in the ground for a while. That was until my surroundings were meddled with by the Apollonian Society. They had etched in the different protective barriers in place to form a sort of bridge. I was still here, my conscience was there.
Hmm. I'm gonna turn to Finn and Violet. Would either of you like to ask something before I move on to the next, or Celadonna asks what Celadonna intends?
Oh, I intend to ask the question that you suggested before.
Absolutely. I just want to give you the opportunity to be the one to ask it if you'd like. And I didn't
It's
know
all right.
if. Yeah. Okay. Violet Finn, if you need more time, it's okay.
There's a lot of I will ask that question then. There's been a lot of hurt, a lot of misunderstanding, and lack of sincerity or trust between all of us, I'm sure. What can what ha, what's the question? What would it take for what can we do for you to trust us to not hurt you? Not anymore.
Well, that is another. You all are just enamored with difficult questions. Frankly, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't have the best interactions with people in secret societies. You actually let me out, and I will owe you a debt.
What can we bring you that you need once you are released?
Well, animal blood certainly will make things easier. I will heal a bit quicker. I'm a bit shriveled at the moment. No one has bled over the ground in quite some time. It's how they used to feed me.
Without spending another question, would we understand anything about the use of that animal blood, or what kinds of like parameters there might be on the
Uh,
animal blood?
Absolutely. So, you all would know there are certain vampire creatures. Some need the essence of human blood to satiate them. More of like they are dead, and that is what has them clinging to life. For the Avertac is something different. Very much the blood is think of it like a protein shake. You don't necessarily need the protein shake, but it'll make you good and strong and could benefit you in physical situations. It is like a super nutrient dense, albeit as though it's sugar free, if we're putting it in our terms. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is not fully satiating, but for an Avertac, they don't need blood. Blood is just something that helps with their abilities.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ben?
I think you're muted, Austin.
Mm-hmm. Can't hear you.
How about now?
Here we
Yeah, now we're
go.
good.
There you go.
Yay! Cool.
Hmm.
Sorry about that. Um, what's changed for you since you
What's
went into the grounds? Since everything? How are you
many
different? What is gonna?
many things have changed. I have when I first began, when I first became whatever you call this, it was more important to have power to survive. If you could not protect your area, you would die. And as such, power got to my head. I will not doubt that. No one does the extreme lengths that I have. Do they not have that personality flaw, so to speak? However, fortunately or unfortunately, however you talk about it, there are certain things that I will not live with. Suffering will happen no matter what, but it's the suffering that we choose. I do not want the people that I fought for to suffer under the tyranny that is currently going on. I saw what happened in the 1600s from afar, but I read all the reports. That rebellion, they did not have the help that they needed, and they were crushed. I only wish to be free and live on my own. I have learned from my mistakes of being near humanity. I understand I will not be accepted. That is fine. But it seems as though, and he appears as though it almost sickens him to say this. It seems as though you may need help in this endeavor. I know the Apollonian Society's secrets. I've helped them function for the last 200 plus years. We both have the same want to take them down. The Vaesen will never be free until they are.
Violet's question, final question. Um, who have you ever cared about besides yourself?
That's what you want to know.
That's what I want to know.
There was someone a very long time ago. They are dead. I could not save them. I can now. Unfortunately, they are gone. And I remain.
If it's allowed within the realm of this one singular question and no one since then?
It is dangerous to care.
It's more dangerous not to.
And Violet goes, well, I've heard everything I need to hear. And that's the end of anything she needs to ask him.
I believe that's 5 total questions. The air within the seance room becomes thick, almost like the weighing humidity, even though it's not humid really at all outside right now. But it appears as though whatever protective forces that withhold Hawkins from appearing in any kind of form uh, are sort of draining you, Celadonna. To withhold this connection any longer may cause harm.
Would it be possible to just hold on the connection a little bit longer to sense an emotional state? Almost like try to empathize a little bit to see if I can see something, like access his memory to see who it is that he saw when Violet was asking that question about, the person he cared about.
100% you can.
Hmm.
It will cost a. I'll let you choose whether it is a physical or a mental condition.
Mhm.
But you can do that for free because you have that direct tie right now.
Okay.
As you hold on for just a moment longer and peer further than Hawkins is willing to show, you see a woman's face. Dark jet black hair. Her eyes are a very deep, deep emerald green.
Hmm.
She has pale skin of like milk and honey. She's wearing a dress that could only be described as closer to the time era of honestly the earliest folklore that we have in Ireland. This long gown made of wool, quite plain, but it is rather beautifully colored. Uh,
Mhm.
and you just hear the joy in her laugh. That it is a sense of happiness and peace that you can tell that it takes everything for Hawkins to remember that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take nothing really fits in a mental. I was gonna say like I'm gonna take exhausted, even though that feels more mental than physical, but I'm just gonna take the physical exhausted. um I think as the mental connection disconnects, the rest of you will see Celadonna has a tear kind of falling down her face, and she is going to maybe contact Nisha to see if there can be any like antique from that era that she can bring as a token of like trust,
Yeah,
to
you can
like
absolutely
bring
get
back
in
some
contact with
memories.
Nisha. He
Yeah.
can absolutely bring that for you.
Okay.
And as the candles blow out, you feel your connection dissipate. And the air becomes thinner, it becomes less pressing on everyone. We're going to take a real quick break and we'll be back in about 10 minutes to see the conclusion of whether or not it sounds like you guys are closer on to the yes side than the no of releasing the attack. We'll see you in a little bit, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Vaesen Morrigan Society. We had just finished up the seance, and we did some quick background information just so we can get to where we need to get by the end of the episode. The group in the break did a bit of a second seance with the uh, basically the spirits that put uh, the uh, the vampire known as Hawkins in the ground. This is the information that you would find. Um, you would know that there, from the conversation with the spirit, there's a lot of he said, she said as far as fear mongering. Uh, there was a lot of fear aspect that was around at least the most recent burial of Hawkins. The chieftain ancestor didn't even know really of his heritage until he was approached by random figures that basically said that there was a danger to the society, to their village nearby, that people have gone missing and they needed his help. Um, the the ancestor of the original chieftain that you were talking to that did this burial had not ever ran into a Vaesen before this. More so, you get the feeling that he was more so used as a pawn. But the big things that you got out of the conversation were that the people very much, it seems as though they were whipped into a frenzy. Like, and what I mean by that is that there were so many rumors circulating that people were thinking more dinosaur brain than they were with like actually investigating a threat. Very much like the very witch hunt, as it were. Um, whether or not Hawkins had anything to do with it, you're not quite sure. They're not even sure, but all they know is that the missing people stopped after he was buried. And then they hadn't heard back from the people that were basically searching this chieftain out, is what you understand. He was paid heftily for having to do the ritual. And the one thing that he remembers that was very important is that the stake has to be made of a yew stake, so like a yew tree. That the properties of the yew tree are closely tied to death, and thus is what paralyzed him, as well as having the ancestor of the original chieftain that staked Hawkins. That one goes pretty much without a hitch. And as people are going to research for Finn, after listening to Hawkins, I know you were interested in wanting to insight check rather quickly.
Yes.
Can you give me an empathy observation roll? And then we can see what you're able to glean from that.
Okay. Let's see. That's just 1-6.
1-6 is all you need.
Yay!
So from the time spent in the seance with Hawkins, you get the feeling, camera, stop doing weird things. There we go. You get the feeling that Hawkins has nothing to lose right now. He's been cut off from his consciousness being in Rose House. He is going to have to deal with the backlash of that happening and has the potential to be set free. He has the one thing you feel like he did sort of lie about, and it wasn't so much as a lie as trying to skirt around the information, was the last question that Violet asked, asking about, is there anyone you ever cared about? That is the only time he felt wishy-washy as far as giving information. Not in the way that the information he gave was a lie, but in the way of not wanting to share something important. And not necessarily important to what was going on, but something that he felt he would not want to share. with random people that are going to either help or hinder him. Any question that you would like to know from that check?
Is he mad we cut him off? 'Cause now he's just in the ground.
Yes and no. He has a light hope that you will be the humans that actually do what you say.
All right, cool.
But he's jaded and is like, well, guess I'm in the ground now. This is great. So he's very much the type A of a Vaesen that does not believe in humanity's goodness until he actually can see it. And thus he's kind of waiting for you guys to mess up. But as you all finish with those 2 seances, you can definitely tell that the energy in the seance room is beginning to almost become more chaotic with the second seance under your belt. You do have things to research, and there was also secret things that people wanted to do. So for Celadonna and Father Segundo, you would see that the next thing up is research. What is everyone doing in this moment? As like the last seance is done, you guys are free to do what you want.
Austin,
Mhm.
I'm thinking it could be fun if we tag team an automatic writing just to bring that together. But I don't want to force that on you if you're not into it.
As a writer, I love to collaborate. I'm so down. Co-author something. Let's do it.
Cool.
All right.
Amazing.
Okay.
So it sounds like to me, Violet, are you going to be researching as well? Or do you want something different?
I don't know if Violet has anything, because like whatever ritual is going to be run here is going to be outside of her purview anyway. On both sides, one the seance and two, our way that we're going to free him specifically. So I think that Violet is kind of she's just taking this moment to herself. You know, like it's been a very chaotic like last 3 days. Whether she's been running for her life or being crowded out on a ferry, being told to give her her deepest feelings about herself. So this is a moment where she's outside. Find me when you need me.
All right. So we're going to start off with our research. Or actually, no, we're going to start off with our seance crew because I think the research crew could have different things happen. So, for seance crew, you are wanting to get in contact with Celadonna's mom. You, Celadonna, are able to put the Rowan branch at the center of that circle again. And you have this feeling, both you and Father Segundo, that the energy in here is very precarious at the moment. This is definitely going to be more dangerous than the previous ones. Not only because you're talking to a at times malevolent entity, but also that the seance, basically more spirits. You've lit a spirit beacon, and now everyone wants to talk, and that can cause major problems.
I have my basic things with me, including my old Bible, in case that ends up mattering. Here I'm trying to foresee a fear test. I don't have to do that. What I would like to say is, I know, Celadonna, you took a condition. I don't know what other options we might have since we're technically in downtime, but I could make a blazing sermon before we begin and take that condition on myself instead of you having to carry it. If you are going to be doing the primary heavy lifting, connecting to your mother and dealing with your mother, I think that that's not just mechanically useful, but I think Father Segundo would want to make sure that you're okay and do what he can anyway to
I
support
think
you and help
normally
you
I would say
prepare.
yes, but in this occasion, I don't think she would be willing for you to take on this particular burden, because for her, this is in many ways her dirty laundry, I guess.
Sure.
So sh- she wants you there because she doesn't want to. She actually doesn't want to keep secrets that
Mhm.
much, but she's doing this out of a precaution, to protect everyone, like including Hawkins and including you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
Well,
she
and
is going to, yeah,
go ahead. Hmm.
she is going to
It's okay.
sprinkle some powdered stack horn, um, to protect herself during this as well.
Nice.
You sprinkle the powdered steak horn, light the candles. You take hands and you focus on the rowan branch, connecting, trying to search through. And you're used to having to search very hard for any spirit that is long past being on this mortal plane. This isn't hard. It's actually rather easy. It's almost like picking up a phone, if we would think about it in today's terms. And the the seance room feels strange because you're not so much speaking to a spirit right now as though more so you're dialing into someone's consciousness. Celadonna, your mother has found a physical form.
Mhm.
Crap.
But the line is open, and you're able to do what you wish.
And I think immediately everything else gets forgotten for a moment there. What did you do? What happened?
Are you asking what I did? I mean, well, you did it yourself, really. Introduced me to one of the most powerful men in Ireland.
Oh, Christ. I we need to talk about that further in the future, but I mother, I never ask you for anything, but I need an arbiter.
Oh, well, I could be where you wish for a cost.
Like what?
I would like I would like you to introduce me to the whole family at some point. Not right now. That or the Stuckleys. One of the two.
What do you mean? Like, what is like her? She means the whole family of. What does that mean to Celadonna?
Um, you would know that both the Stuckleys and the Halls are part of the 5 founding families of the Apollonian Society.
Hmm.
Like the Lyman
And
family.
the Halls in particular hold a very big amount of sway. You know Delilah, Delilah Hall, that often did not talk about her family in the kindest of terms. From your time with Delilah, you know that uh, her family, the Halls themselves, um, are always looking for powerful allies, much to their help and their detriment. It wouldn't be that hard.
Do I know what might she want with that?
It's hard to tell. When you were young, she had more of a standing within the Apollonian Society, and then the location outing happened. So far, she's had, at least to your knowledge, no link to the Apollonian Society. But you do know that now she has allied herself with uh, the Lieutenant of Ireland, the uh, English arm, as it was. If you were to uh, say in our world, as far as the U.S., this would be like a governor appointed by England,
Okay.
and now
Um,
she has access to him.
is she like just possessing him? Like, do I sense that's the vibe?
You get the feeling that maybe at first it was possession, and now it's obsession. She doesn't need
Oh
to
boy.
possess him anymore.
She's always had a way with men. I would say aside to Father Segundo.
Yeah.
All right then. One thing at a time. I'll introduce you, but on my terms.
Fine. I guess I'll go with it. To summon me, just simply drop a few drips of your own blood onto the rowan branch. I'll appear.
And you'll uphold the ancient justice that we all understand and uphold, right?
Yes, that is what you're asking me to do, which means that I will hold no ill feelings your way, nor will I benefit you in the way a mother would. I am the arbiter, which means I must maintain ultimate neutrality.
You have never really benefited me in a mother watch, and that's what I'm counting on, mother.
We have different ways of seeing it. But whatever you want to believe, I'll be there. Just tell me when. And I would love to have tea with the Halls at some point. She ends the connection.
Hmm.
How are you doing?
What I usually feel after a conversation with her. I'm gonna be all right, and Delilah won't like me as much afterwards. But
Oh, I don't
maybe
know.
she'll like
Delilah
me.
might like you
Well,
more.
I was about to say it's possible if this tea is going to make it more fun for her rather than for my mother.
I don't think that Delilah cares much for her family. And beyond that, I do think that she would find this deeply entertaining at a minimum. I do think there is a chance Delilah could try to kill your mother, and we should probably be prepared for that, but that is a concern for a different day.
Be prepared to help Delilah do that, or
I take my cues from you. I don't kill, but I don't judge. And I'm here for you, not for your mother.
I have responsibility for her, towards her in a way that blood connects me to her, perpetual. But I need to remind myself that I should not hold ill will against her. That is not meant to be in my nature. But if Delilah wished to do my mother harm, I dare say I find it very difficult to stop myself from not stopping her. I'm going to talk myself into a circle now. We should probably be on the go.
Absolutely. I'm ready when you are.
I'm just gonna clean up a little bit and leave.
Researching crew. You have both access to the occult library and access to the Morrigan Society library. Both very beneficial. There are many, many, many old books that you would have access to kind of look up more info on the Advertech. What are you trying to do here?
The spirits at the Rose House were talking about some kind of rules that can be used to get the upper hand if you need to with one of these creatures. Maybe we have some info.
All right. So you kind of are looking through some of the books. And go ahead and give me a learning logic roll. And while you're doing that, and I will say, Violet, for some reason, your dog Ian keeps dragging you to this library. Like it's like you try to do your own thing and you keep being drugged to the library.
Okay, fine. I'll read a book. I thought you wanted to go outside.
And Finn, you would notice this as well. That Violet just keeps getting drugged by Ian, the large dog.
Okay.
But for Finn, is there anything that you're wanting to do particularly in this? You still have the Hawthorne branch. You have access to an entire library.
I want to try and coalesce some of the other information that I've gathered over the years and see if there's anything new that I can get from, I'd say specifically the occult library. I want to find out where changelings take their kids.
All right. So you pull out a variety of the books. There are a bunch of books on changelings, so you kind of like are able to like scatter them about. And go ahead and give me a learning logic on that. And for Mr. Williams, what did you get?
Okay. So I have one success. If need be, I can also cash in from the Seance Parlor one free success on. No, that's
the
not
occult
what I was
library?
looking at. The occult library, rather, which we, somebody can have a free success on locating or understanding occult knowledge. But I don't know if a second success would make a difference.
I got 2 successes, by the way.
Nice. So I would say this. It's a free success, and you'll be wrapping the mystery at the end, so it'll refresh by episode 10. So it's per person. So each person can get a free success. That's the nice part about facilities.
Ah, okay. I misread. Cool.
I run them a little bit different because I like breaking rules. I break
Okay.
rules. It's more fun. But with 2 successes for the info on the Avertech, um, what you find is that Avertechs, they basically the one thing you find is that they do not house their soul in their body. They're very similar to liches in that way. But where they differ is that where a lich puts their soul in one thing, Avertechs put their soul in many different things, usually in rocks, rocks that were important. Because in the transformation process, these rocks are used in the ritual. And you would also find a note with that second success is that it is required in order to bury an Avertech to make a cairn out of the rocks that were used originally in the ritual. And when I say rocks, they look like rocks on the outside. Usually they are some sort of geode or gemstone uh, that has been like encased in some sort of a rock. Very much the very hard objects to find. Uh, and so I try and fix my camera. I know as soon as I move, the camera's going to turn back on. Until then, we're sponsored by Elgato at the moment. But uh, hey, as soon as I went to
Hey.
move, every dang time. All right, sorry,
That's
this is
funny.
just the mental battle me and my webcam have. But for Finn, you lay out a bunch of these books on the towns and like places that changelings would like keep children. Uh, the you find some very interesting information because there's a lot of conflicting information. There are novels about uh, changelings where they are found. Most of the time, they are switched at the 2 times of the year where the other world and our world is at its thinnest. This would be on Bealtaina, the May festival, and on Samhain, the festival at the beginning of November. That is
Mm.
where like the spirit world is very thin. 2 very, very dangerous points of the year, but it's usually the easiest time for Fae to switch. Um, the first-hand accounts that you get from journals from like the early 1600s, 1700s. Um, this is where you find some interesting information. That there is a first-hand account that the actual other world is shrinking. The other world lays over our world, sort of like a 3 steps to the right. It very much once you have walked into the other world, it's easy to stumble into the other world because of how it is laying on top of ours. This can be done through walking through a mushroom circle under certain bridges and doorways. If you go under certain trees into certain forests, it's very easy to accidentally stumble into the other world. But the general margins of these different entrances that we know of are slowly disappearing, is what is written. And this is 100 to 200 years ago that this is written. Uh,
Mm.
you see also written that uh, that they are having to switch out changelings and human children at an increased rate because of this. For some reason, the human children themselves do not drain the other world as much as the changelings do, as much as the baby phase. And thus, the practice has just blossomed in recent years, in like the last century or 2 centuries. You see a variety of different cities, or not cities, I should say, so different villages. In that, for the most part, they try, at least for changeling children, they will try to make sure that you don't want to have more than 3 to 4 changelings in one village. Where it differs, though, is there are entire villages in the other world that are dedicated to the care of human children. And as you're kind of flipping to the page, and it's at the moment that like Ian is dragging you into the actual library, you flip to a page, Finn, that discusses one such village, and it's in a journal. That it actually has a nice little drawing of it. Even it's done in watercolors in this journal, that discusses the village of Tebruck. And it's kind of at this moment, Violet, like you kind of see Finn flip the page, and just like as Ian is just dragging you into the room, that you see a perfectly painted village that you haven't seen in a long time.
I immediately just wrestle myself out of Ian's grasp, and I almost kind of like knock you out the way of the book, Finn, which entirely actually sort of just like, what? This is it. Where did you find this?
I was doing some research on where changelings keep their children.
Changelings? No, this is my home.
I don't know how to react to that.
It's like, no, there were no changelings here. Everyone in my village was human.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm
entirely.
sure. My mother, my father, all everyone down the street, my husband, everyone.
When did you get the site?
I don't know particularly when I was called away out of my village and I wasn't able to find my way back. I could already see Vaesen.
So you could see them before you left.
I mean, I don't think I saw them back at home, but when I was out in the world, I saw them immediately.
These wouldn't. Mary, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like it would be, this is where the babies are kept that were taken by changelings, not
Yeah.
necessarily changelings themselves.
Correct. These are the human children that were taken.
Okay. You ever met anyone who looks like me before? I know I have resting Irish guy face, but do you, which is something I've been told I have in real life.
Mary, have I seen anyone who looks like him before? I don't know what the context of that is.
Kind of. It's really like Finn is very familiar in a way that you remember people from back home having a quality of just a strange quality of knowing who you are before you do. And for Finn, Finn was able to read you very quickly. And there's almost around Finn, there's an air of peace in a way that, like, that's a person I want to know. But, like, you can't describe why you feel that feeling.
Mhm.
Physical attribute aspects, like what Finn looks like, again, looks very similar to people that you grew up with, but not as much the children that you grew up with, more so the adults. There's certain aspects that they both share, some aspects that they don't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I always thought that you seemed just kind of like a little familiar. You know, like some of the adults around town when I was growing up, around the village.
Finn gets like immediately incredibly happy. I think like kisses you on the forehead and then runs out is like, I have to pack. I have to pack right now, and we're gonna figure this out. We are going to figure this out. And I just immediately leave to pack for us to like go save Hawkins.
And Violet's kind of left with having no idea what just transpired, but like is looking at this like beautifully like watercolor painted like rendition of her home, and it's probably very good that no one else is around her at this moment. This is probably this is a moment with her and Ian probably like watching like around because she knows that she doesn't like being seen as vulnerable, but she's very close to sobbing. Like tears are running down her eyes, and then she kind of wants to look more at the book, but it kind of hurts. So she remembers what the book looks like, but then like sets it down and just has a moment to herself.
And Mr. Williams, were you studying in the same room that Finn was?
Um, I think I'm going to leave that to you. I'm happy either way, but
I am
knowing what proceeded to happen, it feels a little unfair for me to say, yeah, I was there the whole time.
Gotcha. So you guys are in different libraries.
We can also like retrospectively, because Mr. Williams, I know you wanted to do the automatic writing as well. We can still do that as you'd like.
Yeah. Figured we'd make our way back around to that at some point.
Armed with this new information, Mr. Williams, especially because your information probably would have been more so in the general Apollonian Society library, because it's more about like the monsters versus like magical places and such. But you feel like you've got enough information that if you wanted to reach out with automatic writing to get like a little bit more detailed, you might be able to.
I'm not sure if this is the main library or the occult or somewhere in between. But I'm also really interested to know if there are any records from like the old Morrigan Society about dealings with who we know as Hawkins.
Yes, there absolutely are. Very much this is a person that they have been monitoring for a very long time. When he so you see that for the most part that Hawkins, at least from records, has been buried most recently for like 200 to 300 years. Before that, he was probably out for about 200 years and then was buried before that. So he has terms of points in time where either the burial area is disrupted, he gets out for a while, eventually something happens, he gets put back. And it's kind of cyclical.
But it's not like he gets out and immediately, oh shit, we got to fix this. It works for a while. Okay.
Correct. But armed with that information, is there anything you guys want to do before leaving for the tree?
I think I just wanted to like get to know this person a little bit, but that can just be, off screen. I just wanted the woman that I saw in the vision. I wanted to like try to figure out who this person is, get to know them a little bit.
Mhm. I will say that from what Mr. Williams was able to find
Mm-hmm.
on the person you know as Hawkins, no mention whatsoever of that woman.
To that end, and Mary, I don't know if we need to do a little bit of housekeeping around this. You tell me.
Mhm.
I would like to use the power of names.
Oh, okay.
Once per session, you can spend a moment in quiet contemplation and make a learning roll to recall a fragment of lore about a specific Vaesen you are facing. For each success, you may ask the game master one question about its weaknesses, rituals, or motivations, which must be answered truthfully.
Absolutely. So this is the first time you've ever used this talent.
Yeah.
And it's one of those talents that you have to learn from a very specific person. Um, luckily for you, one of the first people that you have helped in your adventures within the Morrigan Society, Liam, uh, is a bard. If you would give him an archetype, that's what he'd fall in. And you've at least been able to upkeep correspondence with Liam over the years. He's tried to teach you some of what he knows, but up until your meeting with Hawkins and everything surrounding the auction, it didn't quite click. Like the words that you were saying, like you understood what he was trying to get across, but you didn't understand like the power of it until you fully interacted with Hawkins in the way that you did. And it kind of unlocks in your brain at that moment. So for power of names, remind me again, is there a certain check you need to make for this?
Learning, so logic learning, it
All right,
looks
go
like.
ahead and give me logic learning, and hopefully my camera will stop. One moment.
Let me see. Yeah, no worries. I only have a 5 in logic learning, like overall, and I don't actually have anything to add to that. So we'll see how this goes. Um, I'm sorry. I rolled 3 6s, Mary.
The dice want to tell a
Sorry.
story.
Apparently. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. I was fully ready to have no 6s and be like, can I push on this, etc. No, 3 6s. That's a beautiful. Thank you, logic learning. Thank you, the power of names. Speaking of which, I would like to know Hawkins's real name, please.
Oh my God. Okay, this is great. This is great. Because it's been lost to history.
Nigel.
This his name, like no one know, like you would not be able to research this anywhere. Um, but his name is Averti. and
Averti.
I'll message it to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's going to go into my notes. That's very special. So I'm to flavor this. I am rosary in hand, communing with everything, really, contemplating in reflection and attempting to connect in as thoroughly as I can with everything that I could pick up on Hawkins or Verti, as I now know their name is. Did I also, to make sure I'm not meta anything here, did I also see the woman?
You that the during the séance,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have seen that only
Copy. That's what I
only
figured.
hold on.
Yeah. So I can't ask about that. But
I would have
two
told you
more
about
things.
that, you know.
Okay. I mean, that's
Like I
fair.
would have,
I'll take that.
yeah,
The question.
I was going to Nisha to look for a dress, you know,
Mhm.
like that kind of would trigger some
That's
questions,
fair.
I imagine.
I mean,
Guys,
and he did
Hawkins
basically
pulls.
answer the question that he did have a woman who was close to him that he wanted to save. So
Yes.
you would know
Yeah.
that there was a person.
And again, his actual name is Averti, right? If I'm remembering
Yep, that's
correctly.
his actual name. But the
I
Avertalk,
know what the other two questions. I know what I want the other two questions to be, but go ahead. Go what you're saying. I think I know.
the Avertalk is like the title that he was bestowed after things happened in basically history, with how he was remembered. He is remembered more of like the before than what he is, the after than the before. But what were your other questions?
Who was this woman to Averti?
Uh, it was his sister.
What was her name?
Doing that real quick. Her name was Neve. I will.
Thank you. I'm getting greedy now. I wish I'd rolled more sixes, but this is great. I'm very excited. Thank you for this. All right. Averti's sister was Neve. At the level of just the fiction, right? In this moment of contemplation on the power of names, now having found two and an understanding to some degree of what the relationship between the two may be. Is there anything without, I'm not fishing for more like actionable information, but just to understand it as Father Segundo is experiencing it, do I see anything of them together? Do I see any kind of interaction as a reflection of this contemplation?
Absolutely. Yeah, you see them as like they were twins. Uh, they were a pair. Where one would go, the other would follow. Uh, you also feel a very protective quality, uh, like from a Verity to Neve, although Neve seems to at least be the strongest. The strongest force between the two. Like when you're thinking about the names and the quality that names have, and linking it, the person you know now as Hawkins is not the same person that Averity was.
Understood. I don't want to keep secrets from all of you. Like above table, Danny doesn't, but like Father Segundo's not going to want to keep secrets from all of you, but is going to think about what it means to make you carry this knowledge, and I guess is going to try to figure out when it makes the most sense to share it, right? But I will go to you, Celadonna, and I will say, she's his sister. They were close. She was stronger, and he sought to protect her. Who he was before and who he is now is not the same. But I know his name, and I know hers, and I can tell them to you if you'd like.
I would like to ask him myself. That's all right.
Absolutely.
I do want to ask you from your unique point of view as a man of cloth. What would be the best practice to honor her?
Is there anything that I could know without having to ask another question, right? Without like trying to cheat the system, Mary? From what I saw, that would help me
Oh,
ground myself and answer.
I'm just asking you as like, because I'm a
For
Vaesen,
sure.
you as a human, how do
Yeah.
you honor someone's lost sister for him as a human and not as a now Vaesen, Like I want to kind of bring him back.
Yeah. 100%. I will say that regardless of whether there's an answer to what I asked
Mhm.
Mary or not, what I will say for sure is I usually sit with them and I listen as much as I can. I ask them to tell me stories about the people they love. And through that, I find the tears and the laughter and the first steps in an eternity of reckoning with the pain of loss tend to flow freely.
I'd like to offer that to him.
Yeah. Me too. You should have seen them. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, as sort of like a last thing there, you should have seen them, Celadonna. They looked so happy. He looked so light. It was nothing like what we see now, and nothing, I'm sure, like anything that has happened since.
It's a tragedy. The person we've been speaking with, it's not him.
No, it's not.
But he could be again, I think.
I agree. I'm glad we agree.
As you all pack up your things, the Emerald Isle is quite a small island when you think of it. It takes about a day. Uh, you can travel basically from one end of the island to the other rather quickly. Um, Usually about a day's travel, especially where you guys are. You guys are more, you guys are rather close to where this hawthorn tree is. You're able to use the coach that Father Segundo has to travel to the village of Slataverti, uh, where the giant's grave is. In the travel, you all are kind of together, armed with this information. For Mr. Williams and Finn, is there anything you guys would like to do as you're traveling there?
As we're getting loading up, while we were on our recent sojourn. They have much bigger and fancier shops in the broad London kind of area. So as we're boarding the carriage, Mr. Williams is handing out 4 cylinders about that size. They're brand new, just been on the market, just been invented. They're the first thermoses with some nice hot tea.
Amazing. You hand out the thermoses, and everything is still warm, perfectly so.
I think we're like getting on like a coach or something, right? I think Violet takes it, and Finn, you would notice that Violet's kind of still holding on to the book you were looking at from before, just kind of like clutching it because she's afraid that if she stops holding it, then it'll like disappear.
Has Father Varela shared what he just learned with anyone other than?
We're in transit, right? And have some relative privacy here, which, by the way, as a reminder, if we are using my carriage for any part of this, everybody can clear a condition. The same offer will be extended in privacy to ensure Celadonna does not have the wish to not hear it marred in any way. So to whatever degree across this traveling procession, in a way that I am confident other people will not magically or mundanely overhear, because this is very important that it not be shared that way. All 3 of you would be trusted enough to have the offer of deciding whether or not you want to carry the responsibility of that knowledge. And I will give the same context that he had a sister that he cared deeply about, a twin who ran about happily in a manner that showed that this was a very different person than the person we know now. Something happened to her that presumably was quite terrible. He had a protective approach to her that he likely still holds in his heart, even though she was stronger, and I could feel it in their names. And that I know both her name and his. And then you decide if I tell you the names or not.
Mary, I have a question. This is not how the ability works, but if Finn and Mr. Williams put their heads together, and I'm assuming that we roll some decent successes, is there any chance we might be able to reach out to Averti and basically say, how do we connect with your brother? How do we
Or
reach him?
Neve's the sister.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Gotcha.
I said it wrong, but you know what I meant.
Hey, Austin, your microphone is very messed up right now.
Oh, I couldn't tell that was Austin talking. I thought it was like static.
Well, you know, you
Yeah.
got that thermos of tea, and now you got a bee buzzing around it, you know.
That's not any
Still
better,
be.
no.
Still be. It's a little bit of the want of like a Charlie Brown parent, but in bee form.
You might want to try to like readjust whatever cable is connected to your microphone.
Yep,
There
we're good.
is none.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm good.
you're good.
Yay. All right, cool. Yeah, could we like automatic write a letter from her to him?
100% you can. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say to Father Varela that you know exactly what kind of person I am, exactly what I've been prepared to do. Do you think this is information that I should have?
I will always choose to believe in you. So I can only answer by saying, even if you don't believe that you will treat this information with the respect it deserves in this moment, I believe that you will treat this information with the respect it deserves when it matters. But I am not here to burden you with something you do not want to have. Only take it if it is what you want to do. And if not, you don't have to.
And she sits there and like kind of grips the book that she's been holding a little bit harder. She's gonna say, I don't know if I'm the right person for your faith, and I don't know if I'm the right person for that information. You should hold on to it.
This offer doesn't expire. If you change your mind, I'll be ready.
Just kind of nods.
You see, you're being responsible already. Looks like my faith is well placed.
I really hope so, Father.
I know it in my heart.
What did Mr. Williams and Finn get for their inspiration rolls? Success.
I got none.
All right.
Could I push that? Is that possible?
Yeah, I'll say for this it's like a special use, so I think you should be able to.
Okay.
I don't think it says anywhere in the talent that you cannot push the roll.
Okay. All right. How many die would that be now? I've never pushed something before.
Oh yeah, so it's the same number of dice.
Mhm.
You just take a condition.
Oh, wonderful.
And then after that, the condition will affect. So this is a mental check, so this would be a mental condition that you take. And then any roll after that, if it's a mental roll, will take a negative dice because you have a condition.
Okay. All right. I got 2 successes from that.
Amazing.
I'm
So
gonna take the hopeless condition,
all
and
right.
I'm gonna remove it because I'm in the carriage.
Hey, that
Nice.
works. 4 successes total. It takes a little bit, and there's a moment, Finn, where you feel as though something is trying to crawl into your brain, but you're able to fight it off and still get the information that you need. You see not quite a letter that is written, but there are certain words written in a language that you do not understand. That is like written on the page. Very much this is using the old Irish language that is rarely written. It's actually what you guys have written down is ancient Ogham.
Cool.
But you have that sheet of paper from the automatic writing, both of you with handwritings that are not your own. And there is a moment as both Finn and Mr. Williams are using their energy towards reaching out to this, that the pen will starts to write by itself without any hand on it in this carriage. But you do have that paper that is written down with something in an unknown language. You quickly arrive in the village of Slata Verde. It is a rather quiet village. It is late at night by this point, so most are in bed, and you make your way to the giant's graveyard. The land is very lush, so much greenery in the green hills, and lying before you is a hawthorn tree. Around the hawthorn tree, fencing. There is a fence with when you look very closely, it's quite weather worn, but there at least at some point was different rune sigils that were etched into the fencing itself. Under the tree is a cairn, a stone monument that has been built up with a what looks like a what once was possibly a skull, now due to weather wearing down and different erosion, there's not much of it left.
Hmm.
You have shovels.
Wait, Shan, and I. This is because I forgot to mention to bring animal blood. So Celadonna, and also like she doesn't want to like just randomly go hunting for this, so she's going to go and feed him herself a bit.
Hmm.
Viola would be like, I mean, we can go and like find a rabbit or something, a boar or something. That's kind of like the main way that Ian and I would eat before we joined the Uploading Society. We just go hunting and cook something in the woods. Don't go bleeding yourself. We still need you in case something goes wrong.
It's alright, just better meat than innocent rabbits, I suppose.
I mean, from what he said before, innocent rabbits is kind of his whole diet. So
Sort of thought of it as a peace offering as well.
Hmm.
Mary, I did say that I packed earlier. Could I say there's no way that a occult society doesn't have animal blood on tap? Can I just say I brought some?
1,000% you can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
You have it on hand. All that is left is to exhume Hawkins. Which means you need to remove the stones. It's the last form of protection.
Could I do some conjuring tricks?
Yeah.
To like, I'm part tree, right? And there's nothing stronger than a tree when it comes to moving stones and earth. To uproot a thing, right? So could I tap into the magic to try to remove the stones above him safely?
Yeah, absolutely you can. With conjuring tricks, let me know what you get.
It is 3 6s.
There you go. You're able to basically use the energy from the plant life around you as well as like different plant life to actually move the stones. And with each stone that is removed, there's a slight shiver in the ground, like a quake, uh, just directly underneath you all. Uh, when the last stone is moved, it is quite easy to be able to get Hawkins out of the underground prison that he is in. It takes a little bit of muscle, but without a check, you don't really need to. You're not trying to do it very quickly. You're doing it safely. But you,
While the rest of the team is doing that,
yes,
Mr. Wellens is going to root around in the back of the carriage and pull out a package wrapped in cloth, and he's going to start playing the oldest Irish tune that he knows on his fiddle, slowly, somberly. This is something being done with respect and
you play
dignity. Yeah.
this. You're able to play the song as the others that are digging. You eventually hit something solid. Um, one moment. But you hit something solid and notice that there are chains in which you can pull the casket up. Pulling it
Mhm.
up to the ground, it is a very old casket made of actually cold iron. The There's etchings of different rooms and uh, this would have been very expensive to make, but you can see why, as like even from looking on the outside, there are dents that look like someone has been like punching, trying to get through. And just like what Violet and Finn saw in Hawkins' office, you see a small window uh, looking inside. It's very, very dirty at the moment. But you are able to open the casket, and inside is a what looks like more of a mummified corpse. Uh, it was buried upside down. The hair is long and honestly quite preserved. Skin shriveled and shrunk to the face. The clothing is very hangs very loosely on his figure in a very old style, more akin to the 1600s. You notice, like, as you are taking account of all these things, his eyes immediately open and he surges forward, uh, darting right for where you have the collected animal blood, slurping it down. And you see that as he begins to drink this life essence, the shriveling stops. It actually his face becomes more plump. He's covered in dirt and dried blood, and you see him just pull out this stake and causing it to burn in his hand into ash.
Hmm.
The true form of Hawkins stands before you. He's quite dirty. Definitely is in need of a bath and some TLC, as he has been buried underground for a very long time.
I'm gonna from my pack take out the I I guess I don't really know what like 17th century unisex item or like things that Nisha would have been able to find for me. That may or may not be like the kind of thing that um uh his sister would have used. But I'm imagining some kind of scarf or like a um belt thing, and I'm gonna offer him like a robe that's clean, and along with that, either scarf or belt type of thing. I know this is not the real thing, probably, but something that makes you feel home or the now. I'm not really sure. Here you go.
Um, and like Nisha was able to find a tartan style skirt that would have been made at the time during this time era. It is rather well preserved, just coming from back where his sister and him would have lived. That would have been about the 5th century. So it is still rather like moth eaten, and if you accidentally uh, cause too much friction on it, it could fall apart. But he very gently takes it and kind of gives a nod very warily, not really understanding the gift that does not have strings attached. Um, he will just say, "So, where are we going now?"
Oh, I reckon nothing that you remembered would exist anymore. So perhaps, do I know if there is like a place to sit, or tavern or something like that, for us to converse in relative privacy, or even like in the woods, some kind of location that
Yeah,
could
your
be
best
good?
bet would be either in the carriage or
Hmm.
more in the countryside. There's some wooded areas nearby. The inns for the village is so small, it's probably closed at this time of night. But
Hmm.
those were the two main places you can think of.
You look like you need a rest and maybe a bit of a bath, so perhaps we can find you a river.
Yes, that sounds pleasant. If possible. He will kind of like snap his fingers, and you can tell that there's some sort of magic that he's using to brush away the earth and leftover dried blood until he looks pretty clean. Definitely, he is not at max power right now.
Hmm.
I do owe you thanks. I did not think you would arrive, but you did. So I owe you that back.
Welcome back.
I reckon I do. Well, maybe it's just me, but I don't really want you to help us try to defeat the Apollonian Society out of your thanks, or what you think would be a debt to us.
Oh,
We need to do this together, don't you think?
yes, darling, that is a known. I'm not doing that out of the kindness of my heart. I'm doing it because it needs done. The debt is a life debt that I owe you all. Completely different. Is there anything that you need from me now?
If you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind hearing a bit more about you and the one you care about. I'd like to get to know you.
Well, that sounds interesting. I'm very tired. So if it's not something that is immediately pressing other than getting to know each other, uh, I would rather take my leave.
Well, the offer stands if you need to talk at any point.
We will talk. We must figure out exactly how these terms will work. I'm assuming you have found an arbiter.
Yes.
Good. Anything else I can do before getting a rest that isn't upside down?
I'd like to give you two things freely. And I hand him the hawthorn branch. And Mr. Williams, if you'd like to hand it to him together, the letter from his sister.
He hesitates for just a second, and then he nods, and we hand it over.
He takes the hawthorn branch, and just like the U stake that originally was plunged into his chest, he burns it with this dark, almost like purple fire. You see it that in the circle that you're in, the protection energy almost very much like a mousetrap going off. You see sparks fly from like going in a circle of the magical essence being burned away. Each of the fence posts burning in that dark purple flame. When you hand him the note, he looks at it, and there's a flash of recognition. He will tuck it in his shirt pocket. And he says, I don't know how you figured that out. But thank you. And don't do it again.
When you're done resting, Mr. Hawkins, I would like to talk to you about helping me free some changeling children.
Happily. You know, I could use some help with figuring out whether my humble abode is still mine. I might need a guide. Things have changed. Looking at across the way at some of the buildings in the village.
Sounds like you need someone well traveled.
That
Perhaps
would
we
be
can help
nice.
each other out.
Sounds wonderful. For the rest of you, I will reach out and we will figure out an accord. Until then, I will see you all later. And you see him kind of whistle, and coming out from one of the forests, you see like a dark black horse kind of walk out with like a more of like a burning red eye. Both eyes being this burning red color. And there's one for you, Finn, as well as one for him. And they look as though they've been summoned.
Okay.
As you get ready to go, I do look over at, and I know at least was Averti, and I say, I am glad to see you. I am glad we could help. And I turn to you, Finn, and pulling you to the side, say, anything that I can do, anytime, anywhere. You find a way to reach me, and I'm there.
I pull him into a hug.
Hug back.
Same goes for you, Father. Always.
I know. Thank you for that. Don't think he's understands what he's gonna handle now. think he thinks that he's the more powerful one in this pairing. I think you'll have a lot to. As old as he is, I think you might have a lot to teach him.
Anyone can learn anything from anyone else. Usually it makes them a
Might
better
even be
person.
open to it. Yeah. I think after what he's gone through, he might actually even be open to it. Thank you for that.
Thank you for the same. I learned it from you.
Well, that's what we're here for, right? We all help each other. And I feel safer knowing that you are with him. I know you can protect yourself. I feel that in a way you're protecting all of us.
Thank you.
Mary, this is not how the medium normally works, but let me know if it's possible. Because Celadonna would like to, like telepathically speak to Hawkins, and would just make it very clear. Well, first of all, let me know if it's possible to push herself to do that, almost like spirit to spirit. But if she succeeds, she would like to know, tell him, make it clear that she does not want to know his true name, but she will ask him what was her name. Ask him what was her name.
You're able to communicate telepathically. And he's a little shocked when you do. And when you ask about her name, he kind of gives a worried glance. There is there's a worry how you know that, how you all found this out, in the way of someone that is he does not let anyone in, and you have done something very intrusive. He will say to you, at some point, we may be friendly enough to share that information. But as of right now, I am tired, and that is not a conversation I am able to have. And you can hear a lot of pain in his voice. You can even tell that he is incredibly frail. Many of his muscles have atrophied, and it will take quite a bit of time for him to regain full strength.
I think she'll just say, I am deeply sorry. Please let me know if there is anything I can do for you.
When the time comes, I will. He will give a nod at everyone else, a nod of farewell. Will get on the horse, and if there isn't anything else, he will ride off with Finn guiding.
Just before I leave, I give Mr. Williams a hug and a handshake in that order.
He tries to give them to you in the opposite order, but goes along with it.
I let Celadonna say goodbye to Monty. And I hand Violet a hand-drawn map of the location of her hometown that I was able to sort of ascertain from from that book that we read together. And I hand Ian a piece of fish jerky.
There is such a look of hope and hopelessness that goes across her face at the same time. Like the idea that she finally found the thing that she's been looking for, but now that she's finally found it, what now? Is she the right Violet to go back home? But she looks incredibly thankful as she gives you a hug, and she doesn't normally hug people. She hasn't been a very like affectionate person over the entirety of the time I've played her. But she gives you a hug, and then she just kind of like starts going over the map you gave her.
When you're ready, we'll go together. We can find our answers together, if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll let you know.
During that awkward hug, Mr. Williams slips you a scrap of paper. There's a very simple note on it, something to the effect of, I hope you can remind him who he was.
Simple nod. Look of gratitude. And as we're bounding off on these black horses, the last thing that you hear is, you know, I thought you were going to be naked.
You all are able to head back to Galway about morning time. But the entire ride, Father Segundo, you feel as though you're being watched. And that's where we're going to wrap for this evening.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's all fine. Of course I'm being watched. I'm in a carriage full of people. Has to be that, right?
Yeah, that's it. You got it. It's totally fine.
I got it.
Sunshine and rainbows. But that is all we have time for this evening. Quickly, let us see what the wonderful cast here is up to. We're going to start with the lovely guest, Finn. Austin, thank you so much for being with us the last 3 episodes. This is Austin's last episode of this season. But hopefully he will be back for more. But where can we find you?
Hi, everyone. I have been Austin the Diabetic DM. You can normally find me over at Stories Told Again, an actual play podcast that I run with some of my wonderful, insane friends. You can also catch us at Gen Con this summer, where we'll be hosting 2 live shows. You'll also be able to catch me at Oh My Chorus, which is another live show being run by Pocket Dragon Pub. Is super excited for that. Have a couple other things in the works that I don't think I can talk about yet, but I'm really excited for. I'm also playing a bunch of other heavily traumatized little guys, several of which have cats. So if you like this, you'll like those other things. Thank you so much. I will play with any of these people so long as they will play with me. I love you. I love you all.
You too.
Do I have to popcorn it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna popcorn it to Danny.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Nerds with Dice. I'm super grateful to be here. Danny, Danny Mendoza, he, him, Danny R. Mendoza, everywhere internets are found. Blue Sky is a good place to follow me. I normally have a very long spiel, but we got to wrap fast. So this is what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, if you're watching this live at noon Eastern, you can watch me play The Way We Were over at Pantsless Tables, which is a Walking Dead game where we are already and have been all month already raising money for the Trevor Project and for mutual aid among the queer community in India for Pride, because Pride isn't just 1 month, everybody. Pride's whenever the hell we want it to be. So you see that tomorrow. You can see me do a bunch of other stuff if you just follow my socials. Saturday night, May 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern is the talkback for Radical Resonance. We're finishing up the stuff for Rocket Club. If you're watching this live, you're just under the wire. If you get in before the end of May at evilhat.com/rocket-club, that's evilhat.com/rocket-club, you're going to be able to get a 172-page PDF plus supporting materials for free for an amazing game. All we ask is give some feedback in the feedback form. You'll be listed as a playtester, and you'll help make an amazing game even better. There's a talk back that Mary and I are both going to be in for the Radical Resonance game here called A Silent Harvest here on Nerds with Dice. That is going to be sometime on the 31st. On the 31st at noon Eastern, I'm going to be live over at Pocket Dragon Pub playing for the Drag Queen. It's for the Queen, but we're doing it with the Drag Queen as a kickoff to Pride. And then we are going to the following day. Rand and I are both at 10 a.m. Eastern because that is how committed to this we are. Going to be playing Fiasco also for Pride. These are fundraisers that are going to be going on over there at Pocket Dragon Pub. There's going to be a whole bunch of fundraisers at Pocket Dragon Pub, here at Nerds with Dice, at Pantsless Tables, over at Streaming Rainbow, where I'm a member of the staff. We're going to be raising a ton of money for a ton of incredible causes. Follow my socials to see that. And then we're going to be doing other stuff at Many Face Plays and Queers and Spears that I'm going to be doing with Steve that is going to raise money for Trans Lifeline in June and in July. There's going to be more stuff at Nerds with Dice, Pocket Dragon. Well, I think all four of those channels going into July for Pride. And there is going to be stuff on a couple of other channels I'm doing to raise money as well for great causes. Follow my socials, and I'm going to kick it to you, Steve, because I was just talking about you.
Hi, I'm Steve, Tall Halfling on the socials, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. You can find me on Tuesday with Mary and Crimson over on Step Monkey Presents for what I believe is the season finale of Rotted Tropics. Superheroes, zombies, mush them together. Got a bunch of things coming up after that. Playing some Call of Cthulhu over at the Miskatonic Playhouse on Saturday the 6th. Some more one-shots and charity fundraisers with Danny coming up. And if you'd like to play in a game kind of like this, but not quite as awesome, sometime in the next few weeks, there should be a casting call going up. I'll be running a Call of Cthulhu's one shot here in July. Weirdly, also for Pride, even though it's not June, but Pride doesn't have to be contained.
It's going to be awesome. What are you talking about, Steve? It's going to be great.
Yeah, but not quite as awesome as Mary and doing Vaesen.
Yeah.
That's just next level. Speaking of that Tuesday craziness, I toss you over to Crimson.
Hi, everybody. You can catch me, Crimson Soul, at crimsonsoul.bluesky.social, at twitch.tv/crimsonsoul_, on Mondays on twitch.tv/Valdrianth, where I am about to do something incredibly dangerous and reckless. Wow, who would have thought? On Tuesdays for probably, well, what has been told to us will be the most lethal game of our Rotted Tropics game for our season finale. And then the following Thursday, here for our last game of the season for I completely just blanked on Vaesen. Completely blanked on the game we've been playing for 9 weeks now. And I believe dates have been announced. Cast is not yet. Sorry about that. For here on Nerds with Dice on the 13th and the 20th, I will be running a Velvet Generation game where we try to get one last show off on our tour before the jackbooted thugs of the Ministry of Culture decide to crash the rain on our parade. And with that, I'm going to Rand. We haven't done you yet, right?
Nope.
Hand it off to Rand.
Hi, I'm Ran, and I have been Celadona Witch. It's been an honor to be a part of this story, and I can't wait to find out how it ends. I am Birdic Inspiration on Blue Sky or Rhino Riddler on Instagram, and I am the Legend Keeper on StartPlaying.games if you want to play some D&D or Girl by Moonlight with me. Um, I can be found in a bunch of stuff in servers that these other fine folks that you follow probably more than me on social media, and they are way better than me on social media as well. So if you follow Danny or Crimson or any of the servers, I'm in a bunch of stuff with the rest of them. So if you follow them, you might see me. And also, if you are in New York City this fall, you can catch my production of Feifu and Her Friends that I am going to be directing at Brooklyn College. So, moving along.
I think that means it's me next. Hi, everybody. I'm
Yes.
Mary. My pronouns are she, her. I've been playing everybody else, the GM for this evening. Where you can find me. You can find me online at the Nerd on Wheels, everywhere on social media. Coming up for me, it is a quiet week before the season finale of the Morrigan Society. It's session 0 prep for Pride this week. So we're getting ready for the Rocket Club talk back. We've got some fun stuff coming up on Pocket Dragon Pub, Pantsless Tables, and Nerds with Dice. Speaking of which, in preparation for Pride, I'm going to be running another game of Vaesen. Shocker. Me, Vaesen? Never. But it will be Monday the 22nd on June 22nd, The Lost Wolves of Ireland. It is going to be a one shot following the legends of the Wolves of Ossuary. If you know, you know. But that is all we have time for tonight. As always, we have so many wonderful projects coming up. We currently have had Lancer on stream, Fabula Ultima, some amazing things, the Fantastic Realms with Sin, uh, as well as Prep for Pride. There's so many wonderful Pride games. There's currently a casting call out for Juneteenth with Janie for Monster of the Week. But all these things you can find out in our Discord, as well as watching all of our previous shows on our YouTube channel, and with which is Nerds with Dice on YouTube. And with that, that is all we have time for tonight. So may your dice always roll hot. Remember to take your meds, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.